Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Good evening, I'm Jen Ah. Thanks for joining us on 7 at 7. In Top Stories, sponsored by Nevada Hand's Silver Sky Assisted Living Community. Learn more at nevadahand.org. The notorious Las Vegas killer known as TJ Weber is found to have died of natural causes. 48-year-old Weber was convicted of murder back in 2003 for fatally torturing his girlfriend and her son to help conceal his sexual abuse of her daughter. Weber was found on death row until he was rushed to the hospital last month and died. The coroner's office ruled Weber died from an infection. And we have an update on the massive downtown fire that officials are calling a California wildfire-sized emergency response. It took 50 units and 150 personnel to put out the blaze. Review Journal's Renee Semmerauer has more from today's presser.
Investigators telling us today that based on what they have found so far from Las Vegas Fire Department, Clark County Fire, and firearms and explosive units, that arson doesn't seem to be a factor.
We're also hearing that there was no 911 call and that a nearby fire unit in the area saw the smoke, pulled up to the scene, and that's when they called for backup and began waking up residents to get them out to safety.
We didn't receive a 911 call on this. One of our units, he was at Maryland in Charleston. He saw a column of smoke. Says, I'm going to run down here and investigate it. He came down here, and as soon as he was passing by here on Charleston, they could see the building fully involved.
Residents say there has been a lot of homeless activity and possible fireworks being used in the area. Still, all of this, including possible arson, is under investigation.
What investigators are also telling us today that despite the cleanup efforts that will be underway, it'll take more than a year for residents to even attempt to move back in.
Over in the Northwest Valley, a dispute inside a home escalates into a shootout and leaves 2 men dead. Las Vegas police say a third man was hospitalized after gunfire erupted Monday afternoon. Citing a very preliminary investigation, they say at least 4 people were in the house and no arrests were made. If you know anything, call Crime Stoppers to remain anonymous. And House lawmakers are seeking a congressional hearing into BLM's corrals and holding facilities. That's following the death of wild horses due to disease and controversial roundups. Representative Dina Titus and other Democrats on the Congressional Animal Protection Caucus are urging the Arizona chairman of the House Natural Resources Committee to examine BLM's operations.
Right now, there is no imminent roundups planned in Nevada, but BLM has said it would like to remove about 22,000 animals across the 10 states in this upcoming year.
In Nevada, Titus called for an end to helicopter roundups after video of a hovering craft was shown chasing a foal that led to a gruesome leg injury and death. In business, sponsored by Bank of Nevada, bank on accountability. After selling for $5.6 billion, the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas is reportedly the latest high-price sale in southern Nevada that did not produce real estate transfer taxes. That's according to the deed for the property recorded with Clark County. Investment giant Blackstone sold the Cosmo in May. Here are some other big sales tracked by the Review Journal with no transfer tax bills.
The transfer tax is really just a fraction of the overall purchase price, but obviously the higher the price, the bigger the tax. So for instance, if you sold a $4 billion property, it could, in theory, generate a transfer tax of about $20 million.
To claim a transfer tax exemption, the filing cited a section of state law that lets property owners shift real estate to an affiliate without incurring the tax, a loophole that Governor Steve Sisolak previously stated lawmakers should take up in the next legislative session. In Lifestyle, sponsored by Visit Laughlin, an easygoing getaway filled with good food, good people, and good times on the river. In the mood for Mexican food outside the Strip, Boulder Station Hotel and Casino is adding more diverse food options with Tacos El Pastor and La Flor de Michoacan. The food court will also have Sbarro, Capriati's, and Teriyaki Madness. And check out this Japanese dessert featured in RJ Magazine, only available through October at Suzuya Patisserie. Ichigo Daifuku is filled with red bean paste and made with mochi dough. This shop's owner likes to add a dollop of chantilly cream with the strawberries. In weather, sponsored by Star Nursery, your garden's partner for every blooming thing. Get ready for a hot night with temps in the 90s, which should bottom out only to the 80s overnight with some clouds rolling in. On Wednesday, a partly cloudy day with a high of 95 and low of 79 degrees, and a 10% chance of rain. On Thursday, your highs inch up to the hundreds with a 15% chance of rain and some breezes. Things should clear out by Friday with sunny skies through the weekend and beyond. In health, sponsored by Boulder City Hospital. We're here for you when you need us. Now let's take a look at your air quality forecast. Clark County is reporting a quiet Tuesday with the air quality index in the good range and ozone in the seasonal moderate range. Officials are watching for smoke impacts from the wildfires in Baja, Mexico. And Vitalant is facing a critical blood shortage after a double-digit drop in donors. In partnership with Rampart Casino and JW Marriott Las Vegas, Vitalant is offering a voucher for 50% off at the Marketplace Buffet during their upcoming blood drive on July 2nd and 3rd.
Sports brought to you by Station Casinos STN Sports. Download the app today. Former Golden Knights head coach Pete DeBoer is expected to be hired as the Dallas Stars coach, according to multiple reports. DeBoer was fired on May 16th by the Golden Knights, who recently hired Bruce Cassidy as his replacement in Las Vegas. Dallas will be the 5th NHL team DeBoer has coached. His overall record is .513, .379, and .123, and in his time with the VGK, he went 98, 50, and 12. Sports betting sponsored by Las Vegas Paiute Tribal Smoke and Cigar Shop. Auburn forward Jabari Smith Jr. is the -200 favorite at William Hill Sportsbook to be the #1 pick in the NBA draft on Thursday. The odds-on Duke forward Paolo Banchero continue to lower as the draft approaches, as he is currently the second choice at +150. Gonzaga big man Chet Holmgren, an early favorite to be the first pick, is now third at +225.
In entertainment, for those of you feeling nostalgic this summer, remember Wet n Wild on the Las Vegas Strip? You're looking at pictures of the water park built in 1984, which closed its doors in 2004. The water park found a new home in 2013 in the southwest Las Vegas Valley, but was rebranded as Cowabunga Canyon this past March, following an ownership change. Thank you for watching 7 at 7. If you have Amazon Fire TV, just search Review Journal to download our channel. Watch Las Vegas breaking news streaming live on your OTT device. We'll see you tomorrow for more 7 at 7.
Review Journal Studio, sponsored by Adam Kuttner. Get the maximum settlement as quickly as possible. This 7 at 7 update, sponsored by Pro Group Management. You're watching 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review Journal.